Well, hello. Well, you want to learn about a movie about blue monkeys, crocodiles, racism, xenophobia, and I think classism too? Also, a horribly dubbed and terrifyingly strange musical too? Well, I've got a movie for you. Here we have The Rare Blue Monkeys of Cannibal Island, which I found by going on Tubi and just finding this. And the funniest thing is, this is a kids movie. Like, this movie is I don't know why it's a kids movie at all. The title was shocking. I found this like a few days ago. Watched it with a buddy. My buddy hated it and wants me basically to be bone because yes, it's a musical. There's basically just the plot of the movie by itself is just strange, and usually people would do like a little intro or a thing about like, oh, the creator or any of this, right? Yeah, no. There is literally nothing you can find on this. When you look it up, you can find barely there's 3 pictures on IMDb. They rate it at 5 out of 10, which is very funny. You think it'd be lower, but this movie's from the 70s, 75. The director has made barely nothing else after that movie. None of the actors have appeared in anything else. It is obviously dubbed over because one of the kids, I think, is Asian, and a few of them were Asian, I think, but they have British voices, and we'll see on the screen right here on this little beautiful TV. But yes, yeah, there's nothing about the director. Zero. There's just nothing for him for some weird reason. I also don't know anything about it. But this movie is just very funny because the Blue Monkey is very strange, for being a musical and everything. The music by itself I would describe as a very strange mixture of why is this going on? It's more music that I would do, where it's just simplistic and copyright free sounding music. Because it's a simple chime that's going on and on and on, but you never really notice. You're at a point what's going on. So the movie's basically about a child kind of just being hey, they're running around, you hear them yelling the dude's name the entire time, right? Just yelling the kid's name over and over again because they're looking for their character, Mr. Quack Quack, which is their duck or goose thing. They're just walking around, just running around. And basic plot is the family wants to get rid of it. The kid has a nightmare. Has a nightmare about them because they think, oh, we got to sell it. You got to do this. And pictures that the nightmare is that the kid's duck is going to basically be murdered. It's just going to be murdered in a pot. Thinks he's going to be killed and cooked. And then, oh, no, I can't do this. His brother, I think, is what the other kid is. I think yeah. His brother basically sings a nice little song that's all happy and cozy that uses the same 4 recording images over and over again in a loop, which is just super weird and creepy. And then he runs away, steals Quack Quack, falls asleep, and ends up on an island full of that literally just says Cannibal Island. Just straight up. He doesn't have to find the sign. Also, a great thing is he's a mute. How can you have a movie about the main character who is a mute? Well, because on the island, he sneaks around and sees these terrifyingly crocs. That's literally what they're called. They're just crocs. These giant animatronic-looking fuckers that just stand there. They're just there poking a creature in a cage. The blue monkey, to be exact, who is Congo, just sitting up there, just being weird. They're just it's just really funny, man. As you can see, it is very strange. They are a strange creature. They just kind of chill there and be kind of weird this entire time. You just don't really understand why. They're torturing him by poking him, trying to eat him. The question up really is the Cannibal Island portion because they don't eat other crocs. They're really strange, and also the shape, it's described that when you talk to the monkey, it says, oh yes, the monkey, he talks about his backstory to the kid that doesn't question this giant blue fucking monkey man just sitting right in front of him in a cage because he gets captured by the crocs. They just talk to him and it's oh yes, in a British accent, oh yes, we are here. See, I came, my grandfather was sold to some Asian pirates, then sold to a British man in Europe. And he was raised there, became mischievous and smart by doing other stuff. Then he came back to the island and raised the rare blue monkey clan like the British did. It's like, wait, what? You're like, what? Is that why they're British? And it's like, it doesn't explain it at all. But yeah, so he's British, talks to them, does other stuff, and you're just like, what is going on here? The man doesn't make sense at all. Like, zero. When you watch it, you're just like, holy fuck, this is taking long. And just weirdness about them, as you can see. Like, why is he in a car? Why is he there? Well, I don't understand it. I don't understand you, Mr. Monkey Man. Why are you blue? They don't explain it. He looks like Ringo. They sound like Ringo. It's just very strange. And like they say he has the clan of blue monkeys, and it shows off the you can see the damn family, but there's only like them. It's only the family in the clan. And somehow there's more crocs on the island than anything. They said, oh yes, we lived in peace or on their own section of land. And you're like, wait, what? How do you guys live on peace and section? It's like, this doesn't make sense. And then what's weird too is the crocs, you know, there's, and I'm not making this up, the leader of the crocs, the villains of this movie, is called Captain Croc. Like Captain Crunch. I'm not joking. Like you're just like, why is this man named like this, right? You're wondering, why is he named like this? The movie just doesn't make sense. You can't tell if they're being a parody of themselves or anything. Like, it's just weird. I honestly think it's just a film made for like very weird people. You know, that's my honest opinion that I think of. The movie's just very weird in general. It's just like, oh yes, it's just there. Yes, the captain, just this giant captain man that just is there. You don't question him. You don't question him at all. Because the captain is just there. And of course, like I said like earlier about IMDb, IMDb is not really that interesting either, because like can't really find stuff. Families' names are like, they're just very weird. Oh yeah, the main blue monkey is Honcho, which is not British but somehow British, I guess, which is just very weird. Main kid is Nani, Nani, because yes it is. Yeah, but like this movie, like this, so after, escaping, oh yeah, they escape too after they do a little song and dance about the captain singing their song, having fun, because who saved them was Quack Quack. Like, it is actually it's super weird that the duck does actually more stuff than the people. Does more than the kid, Nani, which I'm just calling the kid because his name is weird. It does more than the kid and Hacho. There's more than the blue monkey, the kid. The duck does a lot more stuff to save them and do more stuff. And you're like, wait, what? You're like, how does the duck do more? How does Mr. Quack Quack do more? Like, look at him. It's just a duck. He's just over there being a duck. And, oh yeah, he saves people. You're just like, how? How does this duck save people? But yeah, no. He just does. He helps save people because he can, I guess. And just like, why is this a thing? So, they escape, then sing a nice little song, because musical. And it's the most annoying, repetitive song ever. Like, the thing is, I enjoyed this movie so much because it was so bad. It was so bad, it was funny to me. So I'm just like, what is going on, man? Like, you watch this, the more and more, it just seems like, I honestly believe that this movie will be better if you are, higher than a kite flying in the sky. Because it is a true fever dream to exist. And as you can see, they're just singing. They're just being dummies. Because, yeah. And like everything about this is just like super weird. So, they're trying to escape because earlier they showed this giant statue. The kid asked, what is this statue? What does this mean? Oh, it's their god. It's this giant pig god. Yes, they worship a pig god. Even though they're crocodiles. You're like, what? And then, yes, they do all their stuff. They escape, do it. So they need to find it because they regularly spew these. The reason the Crocs are so powerful right now is because the statues would just spew like a mist. Wait, no, not the statues. They would, yeah, basically spew stuff called muck, which basically gave the Crocs their power or like more food. It's not really explained what the hell muck is really. Like, you think it's a liquid, but later on you see it's a rock. So are they just eating gems the entire time? You don't really know. But the Captain Crunch, is trying to find it. He's trying to find the missing statue because he doesn't know where it is. He needs the key to find the key. And then when they, after another song, skipping around, going to boat, the funniest part, one of the funniest scenes of this movie is where the pirates are basically, trying to follow the duck that's doing more great stuff. Going down the thing, the duck leads them off to an area off a waterfall because they need to escape and throw off the trail. They just fall down a giant waterfall, and I honestly can't tell you if I honestly believe that that they actually put the guys in the costumes. I think they put the guys in the costumes and just pushed them off an actual waterfall cliff because they just ragdolled and like hit stuff like a body would. The funniest thing is too, like, I don't believe this. I think they struggle a lot in the suits because I don't think they can see at all. Because the man is just because when you see them swimming, right, they're basically just flailing about. So I don't think they can move at all. Because like earlier you can see like they swing on a vine, one messes, one falls off a cliff again, and he just starts floating for a second, and you're like, oh yeah, these Crocs just start screwing up real fast. And just like, all right, here it is. Here's the crocodile. They're doing the shit. Everything else about him is just super weird, man. Like, you don't understand it. Just it's like, oh, we need to find this thing, right? They pass these giant, cartoonishly large pink flowers, and it's explained by Honcho up there, the monkey, that, oh yes, that these flowers release a toxin that's basically poison to only the Crocs. They never activate in front of Honcho or the kid for some reason. They never like turn on, never spray them. But anytime a Croc goes nearby, it just sprays them with the gas immediately for some reason. It's very weird. And the way I talk about like xenophobia is like he basically Honcho the entire time says these are lower beings. They are nothing great. They're horrible, and they're just monsters. And you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, that's true British right there. That's a true British man. British monkey man. I think that's supposed to be an analogy just for British people. But, yeah, they do that. Do a skip and a hop after they escape again. End up in a giant desert. Because this entire time, they've been on, like, this, like, regular, like, beachfront island thing. And just end up in a desert. Like, this giant-ass desert. When I watched it with my buddy, I was like, how are they in the desert? How are they here? What are they doing? We're just like confused as hell. It's like, you were just in a desert. You were just in the jungle. You walked through like this beautiful jungle with trees and everything and singing, and now you're in this giant desert. They're walking around doing stuff, just sitting right next to a dead human skeleton. Doesn't even bat an eye, trying to find water. Finds a water pump, uses it. A sign is there, a message saying, you better turn back now, drink the water and leave, or the firelight will come for you. And you're like, what is the firelight? And they even ask, what is the firelight? They just it's being like, it's a message, we must keep going this direction. Goes through the direction, ends up in a forest again. Like, what? How did you go from desert to forest? Like, you went from forest, desert, forest. It's like, okay, cool. Okay, fine. You did this. How'd you do this? It's like, we can. Then bam, then boop. That's how it goes. We just don't question it. We don't question it at all for some weird reason. Also during this entire time, they're being chased by two Crocs. Bongo, like Bogo, and just another Croc. And like, they're basically supposed to be the elite soldiers of Captain Crunch. the funniest thing is, too, Captain Crunch is like barely in it. He's like kind of just flailing about the entire time, messing up and just doing dumb stuff. And like, he's just there. He's just being his dumb, goofy self. And as it goes on, like, you just follow these guys. They do songs. And you think like, oh, what's happening with the family? How do they care for him? Are they looking for the kid? No, they freak out. They can't find him one day, and then the dad's building a better house for Mr. Quack Quack, the best character. And then bam, it just cuts back to the blue monkeys, the kid on the island and stuff. Going through, they find a mine shaft, which that's where it's supposed to be. That's where like the mystery of the muck is supposed to be. You know, and they find this big building, or no, they find the first statue, and it's like, oh, we found it. And they're like, oh wait, the crocs are here. We must hide. You get sprayed by the flowers, freak out. They run down the mountain into it and see a mine shaft. And it's like, oh yeah, see the flowers. That is where the secret of the muck is. We must find it. And then you're like, what? Wait, you said this was hard to find. They literally said this was hard to find. They couldn't find the entrance or the mine. They turned around and went down the hill and found it. And it's like, what do you mean this was hard for the captain to find? How did Captain Crunch not find this? Like, how didn't he do it? And it's like, oh, well, you couldn't. It's like, okay, fine. You couldn't find it. But then, bam, going through it. The greatest part is the kid's runs up the hill, and it's like, we must go, Hancho, we must find the source and save people, save your species, whatever. They go through it, and bobbity boop, kid falls down. The kid just falls down a giant hole in the ground. And you're like, did the kid die? And it's like, nope, he just fell down a hole. Basically Undertale himself. Just whoop. You know, bam. And the monkey calls out to him and is like, yeah, we found him, safe and everything. Goes down, it's like, oh, it felt like air. And then another song. Another weird stuff. And you're like, what's going, what? You're just like, okay, cool. Do the song and stuff. They kept going forward. And once again, like, my question is, where the hell did they film this? Because they film a lot of this, like, on set. They had filmed, this is, like, not a set. I think they just filmed this in some random jungle. Because, like, it's a beautiful damn, like, waterfall hole in the ground. So I have no idea where this is. And everything, you know. There's parts where they film at night. So you honestly can tell, like, it's weird. Also about it is you can tell, like, this movie is, like, I think was in black and white at one point. All you can find is Technicolor, but everything's, like, flashing colors. So I think either it's the film being bad, or it's just it being really weird. Because I've seen movies from the 70s and stuff. I don't know why it's like this. But, yeah, they did it. Did some stuff, and bam. Find the source of all of the muck and everything, right? It's basically gemstones, which, once again, they're like rocks. So I'm like, do the crocs just eat rocks? It's very weird. And what did they find there? Oh, they find a regular human. They find a human. And once again, the kid is a mute, so no one else can understand the kid except the monkey. Except the monkey is the only one that could understand the kid. And you're like, what? It's like, that's just the thing. And the other human just for some reason can't understand the human. But he understands the giant blue monkey man. But it's like, yes. And there's just an old man. He's like, yes, I'm a hermit. I am here because me and my fellow friends, came down here to get the gems because we found them and all this stuff. Then they stood there because they wanted to keep the crocs away. So they hit the source. And there's like, wait. Okay, so they are just rock. They're diamonds because he says they're diamonds. Like the flow of the river just makes diamonds. So the muck is just diamonds. So they're just eating diamonds. It's like, okay, fine. And those two crocs that are falling of the elite force go down there, you know. They go down and see the muck, get tricked by the hermit, and they're sitting there eating them and just like, they literally say like, hey, aren't those the people we're supposed to be chasing? Like, yeah. They just continue eating the rocks. Ooh, pass me the emerald, or pass me that gem. Like, okay, fine. You think, oh, that's the end of it. No. And it's like, we must go back and tell my family that the crocs are coming to attack them. And it's like, wait, what? I thought they're coming to attack the kids, not the kid and the monkey. No, there's some reason now going to attack his tribe. And it's like, we must go there. another skipping and hopping, another song away, singing about this. And it's like, okay, fine. The Captain Crunch is just build a damn raft, and him and his crew are just going down the river, just singing the entire time. And just like, what? Why is this going on? Like, you're like, you look at the movie and you're like, it's still going on. We still got another 40 minutes left. And it's like going through, do some other stuff, and bam, there they are. They see this bird, and it's like, oh, that's the bird that's supposed to alert if the Crocs are nearby to tell the people. And then it cuts to the family finally. You meet all the family, where, like I said, they're building weapons. Like, it's saying like, oh yes, the grandfather basically says, oh yes, I have built this weapon of mass destruction to get rid of the Crocs for once and for all. And you're like, holy fuck, he's just gonna nuke them. He's just gonna nuke them, because he filled it with all the purple flower stuff, like smoke, because it's supposed to be like poison to the Crocs. So he's just gonna gas them. He's using chemical warfare. You're like, what the hell? Then the mom makes like a squirt perfume gun that shoots basically bullets almost, or like the poison at them. You're like, they're just using chemical warfare now. They're just gonna murder them. They want to murder them, right? And it's like, no. But the best thing is the rocket just blows up on the ground, just falls over. I realized halfway through it, the grandfather's cross-eyed. Like, he is super cross-eyed. So none of his inventions work because he can't like precisely measure distance, I think. Anytime he does that, he just either breaks or blows up immediately. Because when the Crocs start coming, they alerted, oh, the Crocs are here, the Crocs are here. None of his inventions really work. They all mess up because he is super cross-eyed, and none of the inventions work at all. They just blow up or just collapse. They finally get to work after one of the brothers of the blue monkeys just actually gets to aim right, attacks the Crocs. They go up there to do stuff. The Crocs go to fight. They go to fight, do all this stuff, attacking them and stuff. Not really. It's kind of flail about in the water. Then Captain Crunch, some reason, is like, oh yes, it's a good thing I have this. Pulls out the S-bomb, which is just a super big cartoon bomb. Holds it in his hand. He's like, oh, he's going to throw it in the monkeys. No, he's just holding it in his hand, talking the entire time. And then just blows up, and he basically just blows up. All the other Crocs just give us like, oh, I need to swim. Oh, I got to do this. And you're like, you literally look at him. You see him right here. He just blows up. He just blows himself up. And you're like, he just died. He just blew up. He just kamikazed himself, You're like, what? Why did he do it? Why did he hold up? Why didn't he throw it? You're like, why did he didn't take anyone else out except himself. He could take out his crew, but that's it. Then it just cuts to like the family just all singing a song around a beautiful dinner table. Right here you can see them. They're just around a beautiful dinner table, talking and stuff. Being like, yes, we are here. We are blue. We are all here to say. And you're just like, okay, that's fine. And it's like, and the kid's like, yeah, I'm good. It's great. You guys taught me a lot and stuff about be myself, be more confident, and then gets in a boat with Mr. Quack Quack, goes back to home, and that's it. And then you're like, he never mentioned, they never questioned where he went, never figured out, and just never mentions the giant blue monkey man that he talked to. But yeah, like, I honestly don't know anything about this movie. And yeah, that's really it. Like, just the blue men and monkeys. I honestly, like, if you see this and honestly try to find more about this movie, it is a strange fever dream. And like, if I didn't have a picture of him, I honestly think he would not notice. Like, I don't think anyone else would believe me about this movie. Some parts of it seem CGI, like AI generated, but I honestly don't know. I don't know at all. But yeah, so yeah, that's really it. That's all we gotta say about the Blue Monkey Man. Oh, look at him. He's watching us right now from that window. How long have you been there, man? He's gonna kill me, I think. Well, if you see me again, this is Skelly. We're gonna sign off and have more fun. Next time reviewing probably another weird movie. Well, let's see you again on Skelly Reviews.